This generation is pretty boring. I just got the retail version of the Huawei GT7, so let's do a quick unboxing. I'll also compare it with the previous GT6 to see what's improved. I got the 40-60mm blue version, which supports Star Flash technology. The packaging is pretty similar to the last one. Here's the watch itself, its wireless magnetic charging base, and the manual. Let's focus on the watch. I went with the blue version just to differentiate it from the previous model. The blue version features a sleek silver frame paired with a comfortable matching blue fluoroelastomer strap. There is a protective film on the front screen that explicitly warns you not to wear the device while showering, because various bath products can actually compromise the water resistance over time. So for all of you who have been asking if it is safe to shower with it on, it is definitely better not to do that. However, taking it for a swim is perfectly fine, so don't worry about that. Now let's go ahead and peel off that protective film so we can get a much closer look at the overall design and the bezel. When you look at the overall design, it is basically identical. The thickness remains exactly the same, and it features the same crown and buttons as before. In fact, even the specific design and the shape of the crown are exactly the same. However, the design of the bezel is actually slightly different though. The new blue version is completely flat, whereas the previous black version has a textured, bumpy feel to it. Honestly, it is quite difficult to tell the GT6 and the GT7 apart just by looking at them. The strap might be the only real giveaway between the two of them. The straps for this year's GT7 model feature some brand new, distinct design elements. One of the most significant upgrades is the introduction of this new easy clasp tuck-in style strap. As you can clearly see, it has been specifically engineered to tuck neatly away. It is still crafted from fluoroelastomer, which is incredibly soft. In fact, it feels even softer than the previous generation. Allow me to put it on so you can see how it fits. You simply push the tuck-in portion inside, which is a great feature because it ensures there are no loose ends sticking out. This is exactly how the blue version looks when it is worn on the wrist. Now let's take a moment to compare it with the previous GT6 model. The GT6 comes equipped with a standard strap that tends to stick out quite a bit. Since both models feature a 22mm lug width, they are completely interchangeable. If you happen to own a GT6, you could simply search for a third-party version of this new strap design. Now let's take a moment to check the overall weight. The GT6, when fitted with its original strap, weighs in at 77.8 grams. Meanwhile, the GT7 is 74.4 grams, making it about 3 grams lighter. Just to provide a quick comparison, the Oppo X3 weighs in at around 68 grams. These are still relatively heavy for smartwatches, and I truly hope that the next generation will be significantly lighter. After wearing the GT6 for a full year, I definitely feel its presence on my wrist. It feels a bit bulky, especially during my workouts. I actually prefer the Huawei Fit for daily use because it is much lighter and feels far more comfortable when I'm exercising. So looking at the GT7, it really doesn't offer much of a significant design upgrade over the previous model. The primary improvements are just some minor health and fitness features, but when you look at the big picture, it's really not a huge leap forward. Alright, it looks like it has finally finished updating. Here we have the default watch face displayed on the screen. The screens appear to be completely identical. Both are 1.47 inches with the exact same bezel surrounding them. Now let's go ahead and check the current system version. Both of these devices are updated to version 6.1.0. The control centers are exactly the same as well. The control center remains exactly the same, and the -1 screen is also completely unchanged from before. The entire system operation and the underlying logic are essentially identical to what we had in the previous version of the device. When we take a closer look at the applications, Health Summary has been renamed to Health Insight, though the actual content remains quite similar. Additionally, the Health Clover feature is now called Healthy Living, and it now features 4 leaves instead of 3, yet the core content seems to be about the same. Everything else is virtually identical. There really isn't any major difference in the system operation or the content when compared to the previous model we saw earlier. In terms of your overall health, there is a brand new readiness score that provides a comprehensive daily rating based on your sleep patterns, HRV, stress levels, and your daily physical activity. It delivers a detailed health report every single morning, allowing you to determine if your body is truly prepared for a session of high-intensity training. The sleep tracking algorithm has also been significantly upgraded to version 5.0, and there is now a new feature for hypoglycemia risk assessment. However, please keep in mind that this is merely a simple risk assessment tool, and it is not a certified medical device. When it comes to fitness, they have added more detailed skiing tracking and much more precise outdoor cycling monitoring. The sunflower positioning system is also improved with optimized algorithms, but we will have to see how that performs in actual real-world tests. Battery life remains about the same, since the internal capacity has not changed at all. You can expect to get about 12 days with regular use or up to 21 days with light use. Now, let us take a quick look at the app gallery. We have the GT6 on the left and the GT7 on the right. Honestly, they look basically the same to me. I have been trying really hard to find any significant upgrades for the GT7, but based on this initial experience, it is genuinely difficult to spot any real improvements. So for my final buying advice, I am not really inclined to recommend this new model to you, especially considering the fact that it is still quite expensive. If you really want the GT7 just for its looks, I would suggest you wait for a price drop. And if you already happen to own a GT6, there is absolutely no reason for you to upgrade. If you're looking to buy a smartwatch now, the GT6 offers better value for money, and I recommend that instead. Wait until the GT7 drops to around 1,000 yuan before considering it.